Hey guys, this is Navigator session 15. It's actually a checkpoint quiz that you have going on today. Remember, checkpoint quizzes are just a way for me to kind of see and for you to see how you've been doing on the last few lessons that we've had since our last checkpoint quiz. So try your best. There's no calculators on this. Make sure that this is the whole point, is to try and get better at doing this stuff by hand. So make sure that you're really trying this without a calculator. Look for patterns in some of the stuff that we've done already, and figure out ways to make it easier for yourself. So I just wanted to talk about a few of the problems on here, give you a few examples and things to remember as you're kind of working through this. So you're going to see some problems that have powers of 10. So we just did this week some lessons about powers of 10. So when I am multiplying by a power of 10, like the number 10, remember, multiplying scoots the decimal to the right. If I have a 10, it's going to jump at one place. If I'm dealing with 100, that's 2 powers of 10, so that would jump it twice. Or if I'm dealing with 1,000, that's 3 zeros or 3 powers of 10, so that would jump it 3 times. So you shouldn't even need to set up a multiplication problem for this one. I don't need to stack anything and then start to multiply. I can strictly work off of what I know about powers of 10 and multiplying, and those things that we've learned in terms of patterns of, yeah, it's always jumping it to the right, and I know 10 is going to be this number of jumps, and then use that to kind of help you figure out what your answer is going to be for number 1. The same is true for number 2. I'm dealing with 100, and 100 is a power of 10, right? It's got 2 zeros on it. So I could take and think about how my decimal jumps. Does it go left or right? Is it getting smaller or bigger? And then how many jumps it's going to make because of that 100. And you can use that without having to set up a multiplication problem in order to get to your answer. Number 3, though, we can't use that, right? There's no power of 10 going on in here. There's no 10, 100, or 1,000. So now we're stuck and we actually have to set up a multiplication problem. So remember to put the one with the larger number of digits onto the top. So I'm going to put 300.5 on top, and I'm going to multiply by 5. Again, we treat these just like whole numbers until the very end when we deal with figuring out where to place the decimal point in our answer. So 5 times 5 is 25, carry my 2 up, and you would continue to solve, ignoring that decimal entirely until you get to the very end. And then at the very end, you're going to go count all those numbers behind the decimal place. In this one, I see only 1. And I'm going to jump that back in my answer and land my decimal at that spot. Okay, so do your multiplication, treat it like whole numbers, then come count up how many numbers behind the decimal and jump that back in my answer. Okay, same thing on number 4. I would put the 0.043 on top since it has more digits. Count up how many numbers we have behind the decimal, 1, 2, 3, and jump that back in my answer. Okay. Same thing on 5. So I'm going to put 1.04 on top. I do not need to line up decimal places when I'm multiplying. So treat them like whole numbers. Ignore those decimals entirely. Think of it like 104 times 3. And then at the very end, once you've done all your multiplication, go and think about how many numbers do we have behind the decimal. I see 3 here. So I'm going to have to take from the back end and jump and put those 3 jumps going backwards to land my decimal in the right spot. So same ideas for number 6 and number 7 and number 8, all kind of the same deal. Number 9, we're starting to get quite a few digits going on in here, so remember that you can always use estimation as well. So 15.362, that's about 15. And 2.6, well, that's about 2.5 or almost even 3. And so I could think about what this is and automatically eliminate some of these choices that I know are too small. And then maybe some of these choices that are too big. to help me kind of think about what would be a good answer for this without even having to do any multiplication. So if you can eliminate answers and save yourself the trouble of having to do a big multi-digit multiplication, then that's okay. That's using good number sense. So make sure that you try that first, especially when you get to number 10, because 10 has so many digits, right? We've got this 5-digit number that you're going to stick on top, and then a 4-digit number that you're multiplying it by on bottom. And even Mrs. Schaefer thinks that that's a really big multiplication problem, and I would get annoyed trying to do all of that. So you could use some number sense. I know that 11.518 is about 11 and a half. And I know that 1.382 is almost 1.5. And I could maybe use these smaller numbers as an estimate and multiply with these and see what I get close to, and then choose the most reasonable of my answers as I work over here. That would be an absolutely good idea to try and eliminate some options and make your life way easier by using estimation to solve instead of having to go with these really, really big multi-digit multiplications. So specifically for those last two problems, think about how can you use estimation to make your multiplications easier, okay? Okay, so that's it for this checkpoint quiz. Lots of multiplying with decimals, a little bit of multiplying with powers of 10. Hopefully it went okay. If you have questions, you can always jump onto the class Zoom session today, Friday at 2 o'clock. I will be available. Just pop in and ask a question about problem that you're working on, that you're stuck on, and I can take a look and see how you did. Or if you need to have more individual help from me and you're not comfortable doing a group Zoom session, that's fine. Just sign up on the Sign Up Genius link that I've been putting at the end of each day, and you can go sign up for a slot with me and we can just work one-on-one. So that's it. Hope you did well, and let me know how I can help. Talk to you soon. Bye.